behind. Thank you. Um, yes, with that, you have all had your day in El Terrell. You have investigated the city. You have gone to the sites you want to see, done the things you want to do, and now it's time for some sleep. And in the morning, you will find your ship, and you will accompany it down the road or down the river and see where your journey takes you. So, party can all get a long rest. You may hit the button should you require it. I don't imagine many of you will, but
No
that's okay.
encounters?
No encounters. You're in a walled city. What's going to happen in a walled city? Nothing bad.
I
There's
will
no
say
war.
I will say too, while everyone else is resting, since Shroud only needs like the 6 hours versus I think everyone needs 8, I will spend some of that time like reattuning to my armor because I can't just put on armor and I have to spend an hour, I think, like taking it off and then an hour like putting it on.
Integrating it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was like
integrating.
attuning.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I was using that as more of like a universal word. I know that means something in D&D, but you know what I mean, like whatever it's called.
I get you. You
That's right. It takes me 10 minutes too.
Yeah. It's an
yeah.
like,
So
it's an
You need
hour.
to integrate the armor.
There you go. Integrate.
I imagine in your private room it's very much like
Yep.
and you're like literally like undrilling the armor. Like you're basically taking off your like
Oh yeah.
exoskeleton surface plating, modifying the new armor into like plating pieces,
Yeah.
and then like reinserting and drilling them back onto your person.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting feature, but I just wanted to make sure that was covered because I know that they made sure to call that out in the character features, which makes sense.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you doing that. And I'm gonna say, funnily enough, I'm just rolled randomly. Terrence, your room's right next to Shroud, and like for that hour of the night, you're like you got 2 pillows on either side of your head. As the other side, there's like
Sounds like
you
a
hear like
construction yard.
it literally sounds like a construction yard. You know what? Just for funnies, I'm gonna say like there's one on either side of the wall. Stop rolling threes. I already rolled a 3. Fuck. Ciela. So Ciela, you're like on Shroud's right side of the wall, and Terrence, you're on the left, and you guys are sleeping, and suddenly you hear like just drilling sounds, and you guys both just like open your eyes, and you're like, no.
See how those crystals are like vibrating on her head?
and it's for like an hour. You guys are like, okay, it'll be over any moment now. Like in the first minute, 5 minutes go by.
Banging on the
wall. Yeah, Shroud, you're working, and suddenly you hear like.
None of that registers with me because I don't understand like context clues of like people banging. Nothing. You have just I'm.
There's like banging on the walls, and you're like,
weird.
You just keep going. 10 minutes go by. Construction zone continues. 15 minutes go by. 20 minutes go by of this incessant drilling and like plate, like metal denting sounding sounds, and like 25 minutes go by. 30 minutes go by. You guys are like, it's been a half
at the 30-minute point and be like, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Shroud, you are for all intents and purposes naked. As much as a Warforged can be.
Half plates opened.
Oh, buddy, at halfway, you've taken the armor off. Yep. Now you got to put the armor on. So you were just like struts and like pistons and wires and like synthetic musculature. You are, for all intents and purposes, have taken your skin off. And you hear at the door.
Can I open the door and do an intimidation check?
Yeah, you open the door. Make an intimidation check.
18.
18. Ciela, you open the. Yeah, make me a wisdom saving throw.
No.
You open the door and Shroud is there, but it is not Shroud. Shroud does not have their cloak on. They do not have their pauldrons on. You literally are looking up like. You don't know. This could be a skeleton for all you know. You've never seen a skeleton before. You like, and you look up and Shroud is like literally like probably like the Terminator after like its skin's all been burned off. You like look up and see the fucking Terminator looking down at you. You're like, you're just stunned to. This is probably the scariest thing you've ever seen in your entire life, Ciela.
My skin turns pale blue.
And I'll just stare at you, like expecting you to say something. I'll just have
definitely like the teeth and everything too. Right? Just like
right.
Oh, no lips.
Just like looking down at. You can like see through. Yeah.
And then I'll just shut the door.
And Ciela will stand there at the door for a few minutes, just like, what the fuck just happened?
And then you hear it. Then you hear like the drilling sounds restart.
Ciela kind of staggers back to the room, like
You stagger back to the
still
room.
asleep. I must still be asleep.
Yeah, shocked, terrified.
Worst
If you get
dream
to
ever.
sleep, you definitely have the worst nightmare of your entire life, probably. Terrence, for you, at 30 minutes it stopped, and you were like, oh, finally. 60 seconds later. Drilling starts.
Yes.
I'm gonna go downstairs and have a beer until
Yeah.
the sound stops.
The bartender's like, you look a little shaky, friend. Is everything all right?
Beer.
Oh, okay. And he gets the message, and he like gets you a beer, 4 copper. And but Terrence, for you, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes of this drilling and banging and smashing, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, an hour. You just let it happen?
I mean, what else am I gonna do?
That's fair. You just lay there, hoping, maybe even praying to Chantia that this fucking ends at some point, and at an hour, silent bliss returns.
It's deafening.
Your ears are ringing a little bit, maybe. It's like not that loud, but it's loud enough that it's annoying as fuck.
Have you ever heard silence that's just so loud? It's like
Yeah.
that. It's
Ciela notices the sound is gone and just like she pauses at Shroud's door again.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't hear it from the bar room, which is a
Okay, I
blessing.
finished the
Otherwise,
beer,
your
though.
whole. Yeah, you finish the beer. You go upstairs. You walk by the room.
Stare at the door for a minute.
Maybe you're not even concerned about the sound anymore. It's just the visual,
Mhm.
and you like
I go to knock and then I change my mind.
your hand starts to shake as you go for the door to knock. You realize it's maybe not a good idea. You don't want that thing to eat you,
Yeah, just kind of go. "Ugh."
and you go back to bed. And make me tell you what, make me a charisma saving throw to see if you can calm yourself down enough to get back to sleep. No?
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Ciela, you're gonna have dark circles under your eyes. You're gonna have a point of exhaustion tomorrow. As the terror of seeing Shroud's nude body will keep you up forever. Will keep you up that night. You all wake up the next morning. You all see. Yeah. Go ahead. Here.
Waking up perfectly refreshed and well rested, can I spend the first hour and 10 minutes of the day ritual casting Find Familiar?
Yes. Of course you can. I would say that you've been here long enough that you certainly could have produced the brazier. If you mark off the gold pieces for the herbs and whatnots, you could certainly, like, in preparation for your day, sort of like looking around your house or your room anyway, that you're leaving behind for the next little while. And the brazier burns brightly, smoke fills the room, eldritch symbols fill the floor around the brazier. What spirit of animal or what spirit of familiar are you summoning? A fiend, a fae, or a celestial?
That would be a Fey kitty cat.
From the brazier of flame, as you sort of focus in on the Fey realm, sparks of purples and greens sort of begin to sort of crackle up from the flames. And stepping out of the fire, you see this cat. What does your cat look like? What color's your cat?
It's gonna look a little bit like me with silver fur, and it's gonna have bright blue eyes and be like a little kitten. Yeah.
You just a
fluffy
tiny
kitten. Yeah.
Absolutely, a tiny fluffy little silvery kitten, and even more so than yourself, the kitten's actual fur is almost metallic in the way that light hits it, and just sort of deflects it in a sort of beautiful, like it still looks soft, but it almost is a metallic color. And its silveriness. It has big, shining, frosty blue eyes, and its ears just sort of tip just a little extra longer, giving it that sort of fey, almost fanciful presence as it emerges from the flame and goes.
We'll scoop them up and just, I don't know, give them some scritches and pack up for my adventure. Yeah.
Right. Pack up your home, you pack up your mountain of adventuring gear, and you take one last look at this place that has been your somewhat permanent residence for the last couple months, the first place that you've had home in a while. You close the door, and it's time for bigger and better things. And you can make your way down to the docks to meet your new allies. What about the rest of Dragonsbane? You guys get up if you want to have some breakfast to feed you for the day.
Do they have coffee?
Yes, they'll have coffee.
Yes, I have lots of coffee. I can't eat. I too shaken to eat, but I'll have a coffee.
Fair enough. 8 silver to whoever wants to get themselves fed this morning. This morning they'll be serving traveler's stew. This is a famous stew that is served at many taverns along the roads. It's got like potatoes and carrots and beef and a little bit of beer and all kinds of good stuff, and it's a delicious stew this morning.
Ciela will look at this and she'll be like, "Oh, this looks so good," and then she'll kind of glance at Shroud and go, "Oh my god, I'm not hungry anymore."
You look up at Shroud, and like Shroud, and all of you will notice like Shroud looks
different.
Like looks different because the armor that they wore, like it was chainmail armor, but it was like a very unique armor to be sure. That was crafted by some very skilled, strange smith, without a doubt in your mind. Like it didn't have the long sort of like battle skirt that most chainmail sets wear. But you look over at Shroud and you're like, okay, they're going to be wearing like the same armor that Terrence is wearing for the most part. But no, Shroud is wearing like, it is splint, so it is like these like little strips of metal, but fully shaped and reformed and modified to make it look almost skin-like. It's definitely, I think at this point for the party, and you eventually, Eravir, as you will see Shroud eventually today, this is like, there can't be any denying it anymore. This is, something's going on here. Maybe Shroud's like if you wanted to continue to try and rationalize it, maybe Shroud is a skilled smith, and maybe is has a mastery over armor in some ways, like a heavy armor master perhaps. But I think between the glowing eyes and the muteness and the almost robotic movements, and now this thing, the armor, all of you are starting to get a man any longer. Especially you, Ciela. Especially you, who knows that this is some fucking abomination.
Yeah. Ciela is actually gonna opt to leave before the others just to go down to the docks.
Understood.
Knowing that the boat's gonna be there soon, but she just kind of wants to look around for a certain other boat.
Oh, the ship should be there too.
No, she wants to look for a certain other ship.
I understand.
Okay.
Cool. So, Eravir is going to head down to the docks. Ciela's going to be probably up at first light, and get down there. Maybe like once everyone comes down for food, Ciela, you get a little shiver as you see Shroud and take in the strange armor and take off. Get there before everybody else. What about Shroud, Terrence, and Star? You guys just gonna eat? Head down.
I eat my food.
Yeah, I'll eat my food. I still have my appetite.
Got it.
I think I would go down, like, because I don't eat. And when we have we run into our new compatriot yet?
We're gonna do a little roll here. Let's see. You do, Shroud. As for Ciela, Ciela, you got there sort of before everybody else. So you're wandering, and you know the ways of the docks a little bit more tighter than everybody else in the party. So you might find yourself in places where other people commonly wouldn't be. But Shroud, you got there first, but not by much time. You kind of get to the dock and like look up and down the dock, and you see Eravir walking down the way.
Can I approach her and can I do a scan, paying specific attention to the fey creature that's on her shoulder?
Sure, so Erebir, you're like, oh look, one of my companions, and like you're like, oh hello, and you're like, oh finally, maybe get a chance to talk to this like quiet person, figure out what their deal is, and you walk up and maybe start talking and be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, how's your morning going? Shroud just stares at you like this with these like glowing eyes, and in your thing, Shroud, it's like wizard, half elf, age around like yay perhaps, and like just starts scanning like really obvious things and like zeroes in on the thing on the shoulder. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay. 15.
15. You recognize your sensors are able to pick up the very obvious aesthetic of a fey creature, and the way that it sort of intelligently clings to Aravir's shoulder would suggest that this is indeed a small fey creature, most probably a familiar.
Can I put out like my flat palm to see like if it'll like come onto my hand?
Make an animal handling check.
Somehow I have +1 with animal handling. How strange. 17 + 1, 18.
18. So, well, I want to take the scene because I kind of spoke for Erebir. So before we get too deep into this, so Erebir, from your perspective now, you've got your pack, you've got your familiar, and you see the metal warrior that is Shroud on the docks. What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, knowing that we're going to meet up with one another at the docks, I'll give a wave and head over.
Okay, you head over. You approach Shroud, and as you said, Shroud just sort of like turns and like looks at you very sort of plainly without much movement.
And sticks a hand out for my familiar, right?
Not immediately. I wouldn't say
I'll just-
immediately. So just sort of like looks at you for a second. Do you say anything?
Oh, yeah, she'll make small talk. How was your evening? How did you sleep?
And I'm like, I won't respond to that because I'm doing like a scan.
Yeah, you see Shroud just continues to like stare at you blankly. You're like, this is a little weird. And then suddenly Shroud like produces a hand to you, and maybe you don't know immediately what's going on, have like a this moment. And then like it sort of goes to your shoulder and you're like, oh, you like you know what's going on. And your kitten familiar sort of like sniffs the hand and like looks at you as if to say like, can I like should I
Yeah.
interact? Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
like give her a little nod. Well, and telepathically I'll tell it like as you wish.
And then it sort of like goes onto your hand and like slips a little bit as it is metal. So it's like slipping around like little kittens do. And then it kind of just like sits low. It kind of like is like low in your hand, looks up at you and kind of just sort of mews up at you, but just like sits in your metal hand.
And I think
fits
I'll
probably
like,
in the palm.
yeah, I was gonna say, because I mean, Shroud's pretty big. So I think like I'll just like pull it up to like my face and just like do like a scan and investigate it. Because as you said, it's like silver, right? So it's like shiny, attractive.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
I'll just,
attractive.
yeah, like attractive to the eye.
I know. Yeah.
I think I'll just like, kind of like take in like what it is, and then I'll just like place it back on her.
And considering how well you rolled, like Shroud in your interpretation, you're like, yeah, looking at it, very interesting. But
Mhm.
you, Avery, see this like dark, like cold, staring warrior suddenly become a full cat person. And he's like, as with like an 18, the cat's like getting a little itches behind, is getting like pat, and the cat starts like purring loudly, and Shroud is like fully like turned into a cat person, is like giving it little scritches and itches and plays with it, and then puts it back on your shoulder very calmly, very quietly, very carefully.
Shroud, I didn't peg you to be a cat person.
And I'll just like, I'll say like much appreciated, or like, data set appreciated. And I'll just kind of like be going off then.
Wait, Shroud, I am curious. Do you stop or do you keep going?
Yeah, I'll stop.
I've never seen eyes like this before. What makes them gleam so brightly?
And I'll turn around and I'll take the hood down and like the mask. I don't know if I would know how to answer that though. So I would just say, like, I would just let them look.
And as you look, Aravir, like you've seen knights and warriors wandering around, different types of helms. And being in that tavern where there were like the paladins, probably the most intense helmet you've seen is like a full bucket helm, where it's just like a slight visor for the eyes, but the rest is like a bucket. This face is metal, and like the mouth moves with the metal. Like this is either the most intricate helmet you have ever seen that was made in a night, or like this isn't a regular person.
But okay. I, as a wizard, think it's arcane in nature. Well, because I mean, how else could this thing exist? Could I like in turn try to study Shroud like she studied my cat?
Make an Arcana check.
15.
15. 15, 15, 15. Being a wizard, and this is especially after you left the Misty Forest, this lore would have come to you, not before. You have heard here and there of individuals that try and weave metal into more intricate arcane things that are from faraway lands, known as artificers, but you've never heard of anything on this scale by any means. You've also heard small tellings of, being a wizard and all, from different planes of existences, that there are metal creatures that function with a bit more intricacy. You've heard of constructs such as like animated armors and such. I would say with a 15, you're grasping now that this is not a creature of flesh and blood. This is indeed some variation of construct. You are aware of this.
Okay. You are quite fascinating. I've heard of magic metals before, but nothing quite this intricate.
Like my eyes will flash like a different color, like real quick, just to kind of like process everything. And I'll put up the hood and I'll put my little face mask on and I will turn around and go away.
I'll be seeing you then. She'll just stand there and wait at the docks for, or maybe look for the Voyager or something. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say at this point, maybe the rest of the party is caught up. It was a short conversation, but or maybe you wait around for like another 5 minutes or so as you like start looking around the docks. Maybe an investigation check, see if you find the Voyager.
Okay. 19.
19. You certainly do. And more than that, you find the Voyager and you spot the rest of the party. You're able to wave them over, and you guys can try and get to the Voyager. So you kind of personally find the Voyager, corral the party, and get them there. But before we get to the Voyager, we're going to go to Ciela, who has been there for a minute and is looking for stuff. Ciela, what are you up to?
I'm looking around for any familiar old faces or ships that I may have known, with one in particular.
All right.
Just see if it's there and just for nostalgia reasons.
Understood. Okay, I want you to make me, given your background feature, I'm going to say you're going to have no trouble making friends around here or meeting old friends. But as for looking for the ship itself, make me either a perception or investigation check.
15.
Okay. I'm just going to ask. Oh, yeah, okay, there it is. You go talking around, and you very easily you've been in and on and off of ships for a very long time. And the Sword Coast is very much a community amongst the sort of sailing merchants. And after you've heard a certain number of years, and you're willing enough to talk to the people around you, you're going to know someone in every port. You find a couple of people to talk to, old sailors, maybe even a first mater here and there that you worked under. And they're like, "You looking for work?" And you're like, no, like I'm good. And, you ask about the ship, and most people don't really know about it, but you're having a morning conversation with another sailor that you like was just another sailor with you at one point, and says, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's right over there. Just about 4 ships that way."
And Ciela will stand for a moment and just think for a minute. And okay, thanks, mate.
Goes, "All right, well, have a good day. It was good seeing you again."
And Ciela will take a walk towards it, only until she can see the actual ship, like enough of the ship, and we'll just like look around, see if there's any specific people around the ship, or maybe on the deck of the ship.
Absolutely. You go over to the ship, and it's flying the same banner as it always has. So you know that this is the ship. Generally, it looks the same, but as usual, it has been changed and retrofitted here and there. Maybe new canvas to the sails, maybe a new ballista, maybe a new, reorganization of things, perhaps even a couple of portholes added. It's definitely been changed as it is apt to, but nonetheless, this is the ship you know and remember. And you look at it, and as you're looking for old crew members, go ahead and make me a perception check to scan the deck.
And
10. You look and you think you recognize a couple of the sailors, some of the more old-timery sailors there. Perhaps not the individual you're looking for, but you do see that the first mate seems to be the same first mate as when you left.
okay, I'll approach the first mate. And,
Okay, you walk up the gangplank, and you find yourself stepping onto a ship you haven't stepped aboard in a very long time.
And I smile because I'm kind of filled with a feeling of home and warmth. And I
Home
walk
and
towards
warmth.
the first mate, and I'm like, "Hi."
You would know that the first mate's name is Charlotte. She has long had her fish legs, and she has been on more boats than you can count. You see her. She does have her trusty crossbow stuck to her back, an eye patch, long blonde hair into a pony. She turns around to you and goes, "Well, if it ain't you, Ciela, it's been some time. You back?" Gives you a big hug.
Yeah, Ciela will hug her back. No, not back. Just wondering if I'm passing through, and I just wanted to know if you guys were here. And it looks like you are.
Yeah, we were just stopping in to get some cargo here in Elturel. We were heading upstream. We were going to make our way up to Badask and then see where the wind takes us. But yeah, what are you doing in Elturel?
Passing through to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, we were just in Baldur's Gate. It's I'll probably be heading back that way at some point. But well, it's good to see you again. Look at you, you've grown up a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. How's Pa?
Oh, the old fucking bastard. He's still up to his old antics. Warding off pirates and trying to keep coins in the pocket and doing well enough to get by.
Was he still mad?
Well, yeah. I mean, sort of like gestures with the head and kind of takes you to the side of the boat, and she kind of like puts her hand in one of the cases and pulls out a bottle of rum, very high proof rum. Spits the bottle cap over it and takes a couple glugs out of it, and sort of leans over the boat and says, I'm sure if he saw you, he'd seem mad, but you know how men can be. I think I think it's a cover. He's more sad than he is angry. Not that Captain let crew know that.
You think he would never mind.
You've been gone for a long time, Sierra. There may be time.
Maybe. But
How long you gonna be in Baldur's Gate?
Not long. Probably just a few days. We're just scouting some stuff out for some associates of ours.
10 days, you say?
Yeah, maybe that long. Maybe.
About 3 days from here. Was it 3 days getting here? 10 day, 13 days. I could try and see if I can't maneuver the Wet Maiden back that way in time.
Alright.
Give you a minute to prep. Maybe I can soften them up a bit for you.
All right. Then if I'm there still, I'll come meet you.
All right, darling. If that's what you want. It's good to
Ciela
see
will
you
take the bottle
again.
as well. She'll take the bottle.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
she
take a
definitely hands you the bottle. Absolutely,
big
absolutely.
drink out of that and holds it against the forehead and goes, "Thanks."
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you need anything? You just say the word. All right.
I will. Thank you.
All right. You keep your crystals clean.
Never.
Never. All right. Well, see you in Baldur's Gate.
Um,
We're probably gonna do a little stint up to maybe Badusk or something like that,
Mhm.
and I'll see if we can't turn us around by then. So keep an eye on the docks.
See if you can keep an eye on the shoreline. See any interesting caravans.
Caravans.
Yes, large groups traveling. You let me know, okay?
Well, there's all kinds of caravans. I mean, this is
Mm,
Eltegard. Lots of travel.
I'm talking huge.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
All right. What would we just say? Like more than 5, perhaps?
Dozens.
Dozens.
Hmm.
All right. I'll keep a sharp. I'll keep my good eye out for it. Huh?
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Hope to get you
Mm,
back one day.
fucking egg.
Fucking A, girl.
She'll
You
give
keep that
another
bottle.
hug.
That's all yours. And she'll give you another hug.
Yeah.
Just say, all right, off with you now.
All right. I'm off. Can't tell me twice.
All right, all right. Don't give me all fucking
Mm.
weekly nothing. And
Then
uh,
Ciela
she,
will trot off the slippery maiden and the slippery maiden and make her way back to the Voyager.
okay, God, I can't keep that one eye closed for too long, or things get weird looking. Um, incredible. So yeah, Ciela will be a little late, only a little. But the rest of the party is going to board the Voyager and Ciela closely behind. Let's go to a break. It's 9:40. Let's go to a little 10-minute, 15-minute break. And when we get back, we will board the Voyager and see what Baldur's Gate has to offer.
Loot. Oh, the wet maiden, not the slippery maiden. The wet maiden.
The wet
The wet maiden.
No worries, no worries at all.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Steph, I want a kitten.
You want one of my mom's kittens? I'll bring it back for you.
No, I know Luna's gonna either A, be murdered by one of those kittens, or vice versa, Luna's gonna murder it. She hasn't dealt with another cat for over, I guess she was like 4 or 5 when Prince left, so I want to say 5 or 6 years she hasn't seen another cat. I'd feel really bad introducing her to another cat, especially a baby cat.
Yeah.
Right. Wait till pull me far back. Oh, that's one. Yeah, sorry, my thermostat hasn't been working, so I had to go try and figure that out.
Holy shit.
Ah, holy
I just
shit.
calculated how much I made in sales this weekend. Worth it. Those commissions really helped.
Ooh,
Good.
ship.
Ooh, ship. Yum. Okay, guys, welcome to the Voyager. I probably should put some music on because that would be cool.
Royalty free Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was gonna say that. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Get some water, goddamn
Sea
sounds.
shanties, maybe?
Ocean Dock, stay. That seems fitting. And I have a little track here called Croccast, which does pretty good for me when it comes to sea stuff.
Close enough. I'm getting some seagulls.
There we go. All of you walk up the gangplank together, so y'all a little behind. And you are going to, yeah, you're all gonna get up there. God, these are really cool sails, but they're kind of in my fucking way. Get out of here. All right, fittingly. All right, let's plop you on there. You guys all walk up the gangplank, and you're gonna see yourselves on a fine sailing ship. Your bags over your shoulders and whatnot. Yeah.
Wait,
You are
said
going
we're
to.
on a river?
You're not on the river currently. You're on the docks of Elturel, but you are boarding the ship that is going to be sailing down the river. Yes.
Big river.
Big river. Yeah. This ain't no little river. Is a big river. I believe it's actually a couple of miles wide.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I could fact check that, but let's play I don't know.
No,
Probably,
it's fine.
probably right.
I was just a little confused because
Yeah.
Elturel's inland, right?
Elturel is inland. I wouldn't say a couple miles. Probably like, let me put it this way, certainly wide enough that like 3 or 4 ships could pass safely at the same time. But anyway, you board up on to the Voyager, and you are going to be approached by the first mate. You are approached by an elven woman. She looks at you all, and she says, "Welcome aboard. The name is Sherry. I am the first mate here on the ship, and if you have any questions, I'd ask that you refer them to me. I'll be happy to manage you all. Onthor Froome is a good man, and he's ensured that you all arrive safely. So, feel free to pick a bunk down below, put your things there, and we will get you to Baldur's Gate just as soon as we can. I guess the question is, How quick do you want to get there? We could get there in 2 days, or we could get there in 3. Let me fact check that. Fitness, blah, 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 blah. Says, well, you've got a choice, which I believe Mr. Thrum certainly paid well enough that you'd be able to make a choice. We're going to go downstream for about 3 days and tie up overnight for safety, but we can always make it 2 if you want to risk sailing through the night by lamplight.
Mm-mm.
Take it
Are-
slow and easy.
We're fine with 3 days.
3 days
And
it
if
is
you need a
then.
hand, I'm happy to help.
This is a ship. We'll never say no to extra hands,
As
so
long as
by all means. Very well. There's anything else? Again, please let me know. There's other officers aboard this ship worth speaking to, but I would definitely ask if you have things that you need to ask that you don't need to go directly to the captain for. It'd be much appreciated if you referred them to me first. The captain is a busy woman.
of course.
Oh, what's this person's name?
My name is Sherry. I will say by her accent, Aravira, she's definitely taken pains to hide it, but there's a little tinge of where you come from.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, if there's nothing else, do you all need any extra help or any questions answered, or shall we get sailing?
Just a hammock to sleep in, and I'll be right up.
All right.
I guess we're leaving. We're leaving the horses we got behind.
Oh no, by no means. We certainly have the cargo space. If you wish to transport your horses, we could do so.
Please.
Yeah.
Excellent. Just tell me where they are, and I shall send some sailors to go collect them for you. You can do it yourself if you please, but shouldn't be an issue. Little stuffy down there, but I don't think they will. Nothing bad will happen in 3 days.
Oh, they're not a pair of black antlers.
Very well. All right. Let's do some organizing. Prepare to set sail. I got you 3, and she begins to start like setting people to task and people who are standing around flipping coins and such. Various sailors with many tattoos on them. They respond quickly and respectfully to the first mate's orders. You notice that all of them are like heavily tattooed. Everybody on this ship seems to be quite heavily tattooed, and all of them seem to share on the forearm the tattoo of the actual banner, the actual flag that they carry, which is of. It simply looks to be like a Viking-esque ship on the water. But yeah, they all quickly get to work. She calls for 5 of the sailors to go to a pair of Black Antlers Tavern and collect your horses. They do so with ease. Your horses are all returned in good shape and fully equipped, and are loaded into the cargo hold, as it seems you guys are the cargo. There's plenty of space down there. She says, "Half sail as we depart." And we will, and with that, the canvas rolls down, the wind catches, and the gangplank is brought up, anchors aboard, and you guys begin to come about as you begin to make your way down the river. The river Kionthar, as you begin to travel your way down towards Baldur's Gate. As you've elected to travel for 3 days instead of 2, you got some time on your hands. Ciela, you've opted to help out working. Where on the ship would you like to help? There's the bosun. Maybe I don't need to explain it to you. Is there anywhere on the ship any kind of work you'd like to get up to?
Ciela will do anything. She's just
Do
happy to
anything?
be on a ship. So wherever there's a gap, she'll fill.
All right, you go looking around for work. The first mate's going to say, talk to bosun Ruben. I'm sure he has plenty of work they could be doing around here. You're going to find this sort of older, but not in any way out of good shape. Sort of completely bald, a couple tattoos on his actual scalp. a little bit of like a chin strap grayed beard, older gentleman, maybe in his 50s, maybe 60s. But like thick, just burly arms, definitely sun-kissed. He says, "We're going to put your get some work done, eh?"
Mm-hmm. What
Go
needs to-
over whatever needs doing. You look like you got your sea legs about you really quick. You been on a ship before?
born on one.
Born on one. I can work with you right over here.
Right.
And he's gonna put you to some simple work at first, which is basically like moving some spare lumber, and so on and so forth until he sees like, you're capable of more and more, to the point where he actually has you like tying off some like canvas and so on and so forth, and is impressed with your skill. Some of this will just be no
I
check
thought you were-
required. You've certainly worked long enough. Is there anybody else who would like to do some work aboard the Voyager, or is there anybody who would like to get up to anything at all?
Being that Star has never really been on a ship, other than maybe for some work, can we check to see if he can actually handle being on a boat and not seasick?
All right, make a con save. See if it's a little much for you.
All right. 11 plus 3, so 14.
14. You're definitely a little. Being a rogue and a fairly dexterous one at that, you catch your sea legs pretty quick. There's a couple wobbles here and there, but you find yourself pretty steady really quickly. But definitely you find like the sort of bows and bouncings of the ocean. You kind of like have a little like, just start to feel like a little rumbly in your tumbly. But you're doing okay.
Okay, he'll try to help out.
All right, you want to try and help out? The first mate will say, "Excellent. Is there any work you prefer?"
Anything involving away from water.
She looks up the mast and says, "You could always tend the crow nest. You got a sharp eye."
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, all
I can
right.
see the dark.
Well, it might be a little bit extra wobbly up there, but you said further away from the water, so climb up. Relieve the man on the crow's nest.
Yeah.
You climb up super quick because you're tabaxi. You get to the very top, and the sailor there says, "Oi, you got to be looking out for all the danger up here, then.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you check your spyglass, you get a little bucket's got your pay instead of mine, you understand?
Sure.
Oh, right, did you have we have some little bit of breakfast in there, spot that, eh?" He hands you his spyglass and says, "Oh, and remember, there ain't nothing in here that we're not going to hear in the crow's nest, that there ain't nothing that you can't find nowhere else." And he climbs down.
Okay. Star barely understood any of what he said, but he kind of just sits there and goes like, "Okay, I'll just keep an eye out."
All right, crow's nest up. Fantastic. Who else? Does anyone else have anything they want to do on the ship? Yes, Aoife.
I'd like to go wherever the chef is and maybe help with the preparation of the meals for the crew and such.
Absolutely no problem at all.
Yeah.
It says,
I was thinking the same thing.
all right, we got our nature people going down to do a little cooking. No problem at all. First mate says, "Never have too many hands in the kitchen." Well, I think there's a whole thing about that actually. But we'll send you below. And I'm just gonna place you all just in case something happens on the way. Who knows what could happen?
No, let's not now. Not right now. We're not ready for that. We don't need that heat, yo.
Oh shit, a dragon. No, I'm kidding.
Randomly.
Hey guys, remember me?
That do happen.
It do be like that sometimes. Dragons just showing up. Like in Green Nest.
Can I ask where? Did we clarify? Maybe I missed this. Like, where's the dragon egg?
Oh yeah, where's the dragon egg, folks?
That we're
I assume
for.
Aoife.
I assume that it's still on my back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
yeah,
when
absolutely.
When we're around folks, I can use one of my disguise self spells to Make it
Sure.
look like it's something other than an egg, like a big old backpack, like just
Like a
giant
regular-sized egg.
Edwardian backpack.
Like a regular egg.
So, do you think Aravir would have noticed this egg yet? Or no?
The thing that you would have noticed, Aravir, is that Aoife has like a comically large backpack. Like if she's this big, her backpack goes to like probably 3 feet behind her. Like it's 3 feet off of her back, and the entire backpack is like probably like 5 feet big. It's the most ridiculous haversack you have ever seen in your entire life. You have no idea what the fuck she's keeping in there.
Well, I can only expect she's just as prepared as I am. Quite a
Maybe
bit of
more
gear.
prepared, it seems.
Yeah.
Yep, you go below deck though, Aoife, and you'll see a half-orc looking at you. He goes, "Oi, my name's Thud. You expect to do any cooking with a backpack that big on? You're muted."
Every place I can put down my rucksack.
Yeah, over by your hammock.
Oh,
I'll kind of block
everything
it with my shield.
underneath and put my bedroll over it. Get out of the way.
Alright. Alright. Alright, let's do some cooking for tonight. We're having gruel. Yeah. My homemade gruel. And you guys can get to work. We'll do a little check to see if you can enhance things, but in the meantime, I want to see what everyone else is up to. That just leaves Shroud and Aoife, the two best friends. What would you guys like to do?
I think Shroud would definitely try and assist if there was tasks to be done.
All right, Shroud being the quiet type, I imagine just sort of walks away and goes to start doing some work, whatever that work may be. What is that work that you try?
Yeah, I would think like they would try and observe, like maybe do like a scan of like the tasks that are being done and maybe offer some type of assistance with like more heavy lifting type of things. I think that's where they would be like most capable because they're not like very nimble,
right?
Things like that. But like I think they would be able to like either move things that are heavy or like shift cargo, like something manual labor would be up their alley.
Yeah.
Probably.
There isn't a ton of cargo on the ship. The cargo on the ship is you guys and your horses.
Okay.
But there are supplies that definitely need carrying around. The bosun will be all too happy to have like a giant metal person.
Yeah.
Basically a forklift around. So you could go around and absolutely help the bosun move some stuff, no problem at all.
Yep.
Be like, who the fuck is that? We'll keep them around here permanent. Last but not least, Aoife, do you have anything that you would like to get up to on the ship?
Oh yeah, I went down.
Oh, not Aoife. Sorry. I mixed up your names. Ervir, excuse me.
Yeah. Sherry, could you show me to my quarters, please?
All right, sure. She shows you down the stairs, very sort of nonchalantly. You guys head below deck, and she gestures to the, to the crew hold, where you see many crewmen walking around. Most of them, in fact, walking around. And she kind of like looks around and she's sort of calling. She goes, "Do we have an extra?" Okay. She's just like calling out to different people and like asking who's got what. And she walks you over to a nook in the corner where there is a hammock, I guess it is. Just sort of like hung from 2 pivot points, and goes, "There you are. There's your room."
Yeah, and as we're walking down, I'll make conversation with her. I couldn't help but notice that you sound to be from my neck of the woods. And make a
your
pun,
neck of
I
the
don't
woods.
know.
That's a funny one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You're clever. I noticed it in you as well. Yes, there was a time where I dwelled in the Misty Forest.
What did you think of your time there?
It was stifling. There's no freedom, I guess. Wasn't for me.
I can relate. So what brought you out here to the river? I was going to say oceans, rivers. What brought you to the water?
Well, I found my way where most of the elves do, and I decided to head to the big city of Waterdeep. Realized I didn't really understand how human cities worked, but I was certainly dexterous enough that I could perform on a ship, and one thing led to another, and I ended up on this ship, became its first mate, got married, and the rest is history.
Married, that's lovely. Do they sail with you?
She does. She's the captain.
Hmm. I see. Acting as a bit of a gatekeeper for your wife's time. She's a lady, right, Sherry?
Yep, she's a lady. Says, you could say that. She's, it's interesting to be about 3 times someone age, yet know about half of what they do.
Are they not elven, like yourself?
No, she's a human. I don't expect you to have a problem with that.
No, of course not. It's just uncommon.
Yeah, it's uncommon, but, well, they'd tell you that people leaving the Misty Forest is pretty uncommon too. But young elves and half-elves do it all the time.
Sure. And is it worth it, if you don't mind me asking?
Is what worth it?
The inevitable loss of your wife?
Make me a persuasion check to see if she's willing to answer that.
Yeah. And Aravir is definitely giving off like a very strong like naiveness to her.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
The question itself indeed does
18 on persuasion.
18, she says, "You don't mince words, do you?"
I admittedly don't have much experience in the world, and I'm just trying to learn where I can.
I try not to think about tomorrow. I try and think about right now. And right now, I love her, and I'm going to love her as long as I can.
Well, Sherry, it's been lovely meeting you, and perhaps I'll meet your wife later on. I'd be honored.
Have a good trip. And she'll kind of walk past you. I'd say
Can I-
passive insight, you definitely know a little tension, but if you wanted to fully analyze that, you could make an insight check.
Yeah, you read my mind. I was about to ask for an insight.
Cool.
18 again.
18. You definitely like recount the conversation. You're like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't ask about how people feel about their loved ones dying. That's probably in poor taste.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's reasonable.
Yeah, you have like a right, not the best. But she seemed to take it in his stride and does wander off with a little bit of like, you can tell there's a little bit of like, whatever, kind of in her step.
Yeah, I guess Aravir's gonna try to get comfortable in a hammock. I don't think she's ever been in one before, but she'll try to like figure out how to sit in it and read a book.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
Oh no, this isn't a saving throw. Make me like I wouldn't even say this is an acrobatics thing. Just make me a flat dex check. DC 5.
I got an 18.
Hey, good job.
I'm a hammock pro.
You're a hammock pro. You get in the hammock, you get cozy, you don't fall out, you read your book. You don't remember the last time you were this cozy.
Awesome.
Incredible. Okay, with that, everybody's assigned to their different tasks. Ciela, you are not going to have to roll. You are our sailor. And I'll say to the party, as you see Ciela here and there, like, you see her, like, swinging from mast to mast and, like, doing, like, just, like, you see those people who, like, tie off, like, boats and they're doing, like, they're, like, tying the knot just by, like sort of flicking the wrist. And it's, like, a level of skill that is beyond anyone who hasn't practiced at it for a very long time. anyone who had not known to this point knows that Ciela is a seasoned sailor. It is very apparent in the way that they work and with the experience they have under their belt, and how they just seem to get along with all the sailors immediately, like just fitting in with ease.
I mean, she'll be swearing up a storm and like,
Yeah.
yeah, just what the fuck you think you're doing right?
Oh, fuck you, you know I'm fucking, you know it's not fucking right, this is the fucking right night, you fucking dumb, and I'm not gonna go too much into it, but, oh yeah, just fucking, just unfiltered, just like, you fucking bitch, this is how, okay, I was wrong, okay, but well, fuck you, and just like, absolute, just swear in a storm, but absolutely sinks in immediately, and yeah, you guys go about. No check for you, Shroud, simple boxes are easy to move, just for fun, I want to get a check. Give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you like you can carry it just fine, but like the wobble of the boat.
That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Yeah, you're like the ship like watch out, and the full like terrace comes out of the water and like rocks the boat. It does like 3 flips, and Shroud's just like perfectly stable the entire time. Point is that you don't slip and fall at any point. You carry the boxes and perform your task with ease. Make me a perception check at advantage, Star, as you are on the lookout with your spyglass.
Oh no. Perception check.
You have advantage though.
Yeah. Okay, so first time. Oh, that was a 6 the first time. Let's try a different roll. God damn it. Okay, 6 plus perception. Is that wisdom perception or different with perception?
Just regular perception.
Okay, plus 4.
Which
so
is wisdom. 10. Yeah, you're keeping a pretty keen eye out. You're watching the ships go by, and you get a call up every now and then. It says like, or you call down every now and then. You're like, oh, like ship to the left side, and like port side, or that's probably wrong, but I don't care. And you're like, what do you mean port? And but nonetheless, you keep an eye out, and you keep some people out of some trouble. Okay, let's see if we can't make that food tastier. Okay, from the two of you, I'm gonna have a little dual skill challenge here. I want one of you to make me a proficient intelligence check, just for like recipes, and I want the other one to make a proficient constitution check to see just like how hardy and healthy they can make the food for the body.
Ooh, it's the same thing for me. So whatever your specialty is, I'll do the opposite.
Oh, my constitution is definitely better than my intelligence.
Then I'll take the intelligence one. Say proficient intelligence?
Yeah, if you two are both proficient in cooking tools, that is, of course.
Oh, no.
I'm not
I was
proficient in
assuming.
cooking tools, but I wanted to be, so I figured this would be a good way to start my training.
I was just
That is
interested in
absolutely
where their
right.
food came from.
Okay, then these are just okay. Kind of got roped into cooking. I mean, that's how it works in a boat, I guess. Then these are just flat checks, no proficiency bonus. Sorry, I kind of assumed. I don't know why I did that.
We are not master chefs. All right, I got an 8.
What'd you get, Terrence?
I got an 8.
An 8. What'd you get, Aoife?
17. Hold on. No, 17, 19, because it's 17 on the dice, but it's a +2 for the constitution, right?
That's right. Okay, so, you're like, Brock, you're there, like, are you sure I put this in? It's a full potato. And he goes, just throw it in. And you're like, you only peel it or nothing. And he's like, what did you do there? You need to peel it? And you're like,
you said to throw it in.
But you don't believe it, obviously, dumbass. And you're just like trying to do what he says, but he's assuming that you know things, and you're like, no, I don't. I just wanted to see where and he's like, oh. He goes, go explain everything. All right, this is a knife and this is a spoon. And he starts like really condescending to you. Meanwhile, Aoife, you're in the corner, like while he's not looking, and he's like making the grill. You're pulling like a ratatouille and like throwing some spices in there while he's not looking to try and enhance the flavor a bit. And you're successful, in fairness. As people will get the gruel, you guys get the onto your plates, and you're all like, oh, and you eat it, and you're like, oh, okay, like it's not bad. But the next morning, you're all gonna wake up with like slightly sick stomachs, as there's like wasn't cooked very well, and it's sailor shitty food, and it's enough to keep you going, but it makes you a little sick because you're not used to this food. But it tastes good.
If it was good for you, they wouldn't call it gruel.
Yeah. Okay, so
you're not
with
wrong.
that, you're not wrong. And at any time, anyone can stop me during the course of this journey if they have any little RP things they want to do or anything at all. At which point, actually, before we move on, I want to address something really quick. Ciela, I want you to make me. This is about the dragon egg. I want you to make me a nature check, and I'll give you advantage because you're proficient with water vehicles. You're muted. You're still muted.
16.
16. You are on this boat. You happen to know that the cargo hold could get pretty musty down there, which means that it is very humid. And more than that, you guys are sailing under the sun. It is, as for the time of year, though, it is a little cooler on the top deck. Like, the snow is still melting in some places, not on the water by any means, but it's still a little nip, a little cool. But with all of those horses in there, it's going to create a lot of body heat, which means if you wanted to begin hatching that egg, you left it down there for a couple days, 3 days. They can mark a couple of days off of your dragon hatching chart. All right. Fantastic. So you grab the egg, take her down to the hold where the horses is. You find a place where it won't get kicked, and you set it up and maybe wrap it up, keep it hidden. Is that what you want to do?
My inventory. It's in Aoife's inventory.
That's right. You want to go to Aoife and get it?
Yes.
All right. Easily enough, you find Aoife as your ship is leaving, setting sail. You have a moment.
Then I'll pull Aoife aside. And speak very lowly to her. The egg is it's the perfect temperature in here for the hatching. So as long as we don't take more than 3 days, won't touch still. But it'll be a little more.
It's gonna take a week. We only have 3 days, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not okay saying, all right, well, we're gonna catch this thing, but
It's just a couple more days. Then if we're longer out, then we'll go up top deck with it. Okay.
All right. You want to leave it in the cargo hold for the next 3 days to do a little more incubating?
Yep.
Okay. You want to hide it?
Yes.
Okay. Make me a, let's call it a stealth check.
13 plus 4. 17.
17. Yeah, you just fully go to an open, like, crate. Like an old crate that looks like it hasn't been used in a while and probably won't be used. Because you look at it and you're like, you know the difference because you're a sailor. You're like, this is like the shitty crate pile that we don't really use but haven't figured to do anything with yet. And you get like one of these musty crates and you just kind of like put it
Fill it with
inside. Yep, fill it with hay, put a lid over it, and you're pretty sure that that egg's not only going to be safe, but it is going to be hidden for the duration of the journey in a humid, warm cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just for the sake of bookkeeping, I'm going to tell you to mark off 3 days from your incubation time there, as I believe I told you to keep track of it on your sheet. Okay. So it was 5 days. Now it is only 2. Once you get off the ship in Baldur's Gate, it'll have 2 days left on it. Okay. So I am going to take us to the world map so that we can track our traveling. And yeah, if anyone ever wants to stop me at any time for RP, conversation, whatever, feel free to let me know.
Can I make a vial of perfume with my alchemist supplies? That's what I'll do for the rest of the day.
Sure, I don't see why not. Go for it. How much does a pub vial of perfume cost?
5 gold pieces.
Buddy, you can make that in like 10, 20 minutes. Like, you make it easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just mark off half the gold.
Then I'll make 2 vials.
All right, you do just that. You make 2 vials. Okay, so Baldur's Gate is over there. There we are. Okay, there's our little Stroud mini. Represents where we are. So, it's going to be 3 days to Baldur's Gate. So, your ship is going to make its way down the river, passing by a giant fort, a giant ruined fort. Anybody who's interested to know about this little castle, make me a history check.
Yeah, why not?
Bad rolls.
Four.
Let's see what if I get a better roll for this.
I know all about this fucking castle. I get a 25.
14.
Oof.
It's
I'm
funny
up
that
to
you would
7.
roll. It's funny that you would roll a 25, as
16.
you guys 16. So anyone above 15 will be privy to this information. As you guys sail by, you look over to the ruins of a rather large fort built with like a walled city in and around it. This is a place known as Fort Morning Lord. This is it's been abandoned after a war occurred, but it once held a garrison. I'll just tell you about it. So the entire garrison of paladins disappeared overnight, and every stone in the fort was blackened, and every door and window fused shut. There was a time when I gotta get my what's the year? 1489. Oh, this is like a active issue. That's cool. Yeah, so you guys in Elturel, anyone with a 15 or above, would know that there's a lot of sort of issue about this place right now. About a little more than 10 years ago, all of the garrison of paladins there disappeared overnight. They were all paladins of the Morning Lord Lathander. They disappeared overnight. Every stone in the fort was blackened. Every door and window fused shut. The current High Overseer of Eltergard, Thavius Creed, has fears that the fort is contaminated by some unknown evil. And it is said that he has petitioned the Order of the Companion and other heroes to go forth and try and cleanse it of its evil. That is a current development. It's currently an issue that is trying to be solved by the city of Elturel.
Oh wow. How close do we sail past it?
Really close. Like if you guys like docked, you could have like if you like throw your anchor in, you guys could like about 2,000 feet away from the shoreline, probably. So you guys sail right past it to the point where you're like looking up at its walls.
Okay. Yeah, why not? I'll try and cast detect evil and good.
The radius is a little
It's not,
short.
right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you're like on the river, I'm
reaching
afraid
out
to
for
say.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as you look at it though, I'll let you make a check. Make me a religion check as you look at this place and just try and judge it from your own religious knowledge if the place could be contaminated or not.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage, cleric.
Advantage.
Yeah, this is sort of your thing.
18.
Got it. 18. You look at this place and obviously you don't know the specifics about it, but you're pretty sure that if you were to get close with a detective evil and good, you would not be surprised if this place was desecrated, the entirety of it. Every stone, every door, every window was desecrated. This is a place that was once dedicated to the Morning Lord Lathander, the god of renewal in the sun, and the place is blackened and dark on the inside. You have no doubt some darkness, some evil has taken it.
Yeah, a cold shiver kind of goes down his neck. All right. Maybe we shouldn't stop here.
If there's anyone around Erebir, she's going to excitedly tell them everything she knows about Morning Lord, or for Morning Lord. Yeah, even if it's just sailors, like, it doesn't matter. She's going to walk around, talk their ear off, excitedly tell them about it.
Make a performance check for storytelling.
Okay. I got an 11.
An 11. Most sailors are like interested to be like, oh, that's kind of cool. But like as you like where you're like, oh, that's Fort Morning Lord, and it used to be held by paladins until they all disappeared mysteriously overnight, like a little more than 10 years ago. And they're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You're like, yeah, and now the Davius Creed, the High Observer of Eltergard, is having a whole petition, and then as you start to like extrapolate, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll help over there. Sorry, just a moment. And they sort of walk away. So yeah, they're initially like, oh, that's pretty interesting, but as you extrapolate, they're kind of like, okay, how do I get out of this a little bit?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And with that, you guys sail on by this definitely interesting riverside little piece there. And your day is going to go by just fine. Nothing's going to attack you on the seas. You guys definitely sail by a number of ships on the water, galleys and sailing ships and whatnot, all making their way down this very, very lucrative trade route. And at the end of the day, as the sun begins to go down, the ship moves towards the shore, drops anchor, turns on the lamplights, and is going to anchor for the night. Fantastic. And with that, you may all head to sleep. If there's nothing else anyone wants to do.
With the sleep, do I get rid of my point of exhaustion?
You certainly do. That's right.
Okay.
Yes,
Just
Star?
before bed, could Star try to go up to our Vera? I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher that.
That's okay.
And try to just go up to her and be like, "Hey, so I see you have a pet familiar, and it's a cat. Can I play with it?" And he just kind of like waves his hands up, going like, "I want to play with cat."
Did you clean your hands of the poison first?
Damn, got you, son.
So Star will be like, goes and washes his hands, and he's like, "Okay, I'm free now." As he like licks his paw, see, no poison.
Sure, of course. And she'll, again tell Ari is the kitten's name, telepathically, like as you wish. Like she's not gonna make the cat like play with anyone, but
This isn't gonna go well.
Make an animal handling check, Star. See if the cat likes you.
Oh god. 15. Once I finally roll something nice.
15. Yeah, no, you play with your lesser kin, shall we say? And the cat seems interested in playing with you, and you guys kind of find a ball of yarn that you obsess over together. And you have a little fun with Ari the cat.
Fion's gonna do a little nighttime fishing as well.
Okay.
Can I say something to Star real quick? Sorry, just
we're gonna stay there for sure.
It's okay. I'd like to try to turn you into something that's legal. I made a vial of acid. Does a very similar thing to poison. Well, not similar, but again, it is legal if you want to try it. And she'll hand it over.
Oh, thank you. This is great. I'll probably not put it on my blades because I think that would probably melt them. But this would be great to throw at an enemy. Yeah. And he shoves it in his pocket as like a keepsake and be like, "I'm gonna use this later."
But do be careful. Staying above the law and all.
Yeah, I'll try.
Can I insight check that?
That's right. First off, Star, add acid to your inventory. It should have its stats in there. But yes, of course, go ahead and make an insight check. Star, you can make an opposing deception, as I assume it's a deception.
Yes.
It has 16.
And 16 plus 6 is 22.
Apparently you I'm so sorry. Aravir. Sorry, I had it, then I lost it.
It's phonetic. Aravir. Yeah, it's phonetic. But anyway.
I know the E's are throwing me off, I'll be honest. Aravir, yeah, you look at Star and Star's like, oh yeah, like Ultron, and you're like, okay, like you seem to think they're genuine.
Oh no, with the 22, like she's feeling pretty good. Like I've turned a criminal away from crime, and Star, I'm truly proud of you. I'm glad to have met you, Star. And she'll like kind of walk away with like a pep in her step.
And he's just gonna be like, she'll never know.
Star, do you immediately proceed to your poisonous snake carcass and extract the venom from its teeth to poison people with?
Yes.
Okay, because you guys were planning to do that anyway. Do me a favor, Star. Make me a survival check, and you can have advantage because you will be using a poisoner's kit.
All right. Okay, please. Okay, I got
DC 15.
What?
DC 15. That's what you're trying to hit, a 15 or above.
Oh, okay. Well, I got first row of 17. Okay, so there we go.
There you go. You can have 3 poisonous snake venom vials in your inventory. And then tomorrow, maybe you could spend some time refining it into like a proper poison, an even more potent one, perhaps.
Nice. Okay, just gotta add. What was it? How many? 3?
Yeah, you get 3 vials worth out of this creature.
Okay.
Out of a giant poisonous snake.
Yay.
I presume Star does this in secret, right?
Yes.
Well, Star's probably is in the down deep cargo hold, so I imagine he's the only person down there. So it was my presumption that was stealthed. Star, are you extracting the venom quietly?
Yeah, I would say he's doing it quietly. He doesn't want people to really know that he's doing it.
Okay.
Even though he was like, oh look, my paws are clean.
Yeah, make me a stealth check.
All right, stealth check. Oh, come on. Okay, I have a problem. My dice is like on the edge, and it just. I want to re-roll that because it landed on 20, and I don't believe it.
Reroll cock dice for sure.
7 plus. Where's my stealth check plus 10? That's 17.
17. Yeah, you absolutely extract it stealthily, and because you're proficient with poisoner's tools, you have like the basic venom, and tomorrow you can use your kit to refine it into like a proper injury-based poison.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you've extracted the base venom, and you can make like a proper weaponized poison tomorrow.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Okay. Morning comes. Everybody awakens. Star throws the head of the dead snake off the side of the ship as it is no longer useful. And you all rise for the next morning.
Right, fishing.
Oh yes, you wanted to do some fishing at night. Make me. Oh, let me open up my thing here. For fishing. Where are you? Hunting geomander. Okay, fishing. What do you have to fish with?
Fishing rod.
Ah, very good.
And tackle box.
And tackle box? You got the whole fucking 9 yards this time. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead, and you're gonna make me a survival check. You can have advantage because you have a fishing rod.
And that is a 21.
21. You catch yourself a pretty big fish. And it's
double because it's hunter gathering.
That's right. So you catch 2 of them. So you catch about 10 pounds worth of meat. And the first one was like with all the the guts and stuff included. So one was like a 5-pounder, and the other one was like a 7-pound fish. So you find 2 pretty big, meaty looking fish.
All right, and clean them up and bring them down to the chef.
He goes, "You trying to do my fucking job?"
No, you cook it, man. Just fucking count it.
Takes them from you. He gets the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
He just lets you off as you walk away. And he will clean them and he will put them in the food tomorrow. To be clear, but he'll definitely tell everybody that he caught them.
no.
You know how it is. Fucking sailors are awful people.
Yes, they are.
Okay, fantastic. Now we all wake up the next morning. Long rests had by all. Star, I want to get your poison making out of the way here.
Okay.
Really super duper quick. If you spend the day and 50 gold pieces, or actually no, less than that because you brought the materials, so 25 gold pieces,
Okay.
you will be able to refine this into basic poison.
Okay. So that would be the all 3 vials or just 1 vial?
Oh, that's right. That'll only be 1 vial today. You could make another tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that. 25 gold.
Yep, 25 gold, and you can replace one of your poisonous snake venom vials with a basic poison vial.
Okay.
Or just basic poison. It should be a standard inventory item.
Yeah.
All right, the next day comes. You all continue your traveling down the river. You're going to get to about here. As you're traveling down the river Corinthar, nothing attacks you. It seems that you're immune to random encounters, this party is. You guys sail down the river. It's just a grand old time. There's nothing to worry about, dog. What do you like?
Can I help with a bit of the navigation?
You certainly can. You go up and you're like, I'm ready for something a little harder. And they're like, oh, are you? And you're like, I'd like to navigate. Hang on, I'm gonna go. I admit I don't have the entire crew. Oh, well, I've got my fucking notes because I'm a smart person. So you go up to the first mate, Sherry, and you go, I want to navigate. And Sherry goes, oh, you want to navigate, dude? You want to fucking navigate as we go down a single river? Or I'll tell you what, you go over there and you watch the shoreline and make sure we don't turn around, all right? Sound good?
No,
No?
I'll do it.
Okay, good. Just let me know if that shore ever changes, or if we happen to accidentally turn 180 degrees around by accident, all right? That's your job. Good luck. She walks away. And you know, like, yeah, she's being a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
As it is hard to get lost when you're just following a river.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But if you like say like fuck it to this kind of thing, you can go and do something else on the ship if you wish.
Yeah, we'll just make sure things are going well.
Okay, yeah.
Just be a general pain in the ass.
Yep, tying knots, being a bit of a pain in the ass, absolutely.
Talk shit with the sailors.
Yep, talk shit with the sailors, and yeah, and if you talk shit about like if you're like, oh, the first mate, like what a bitch, or like whatever, they'll like they don't really go in for it. She seems to command a decent amount of respect on the ship. Like, you know that there's certain ships where the sailors are absolutely like, oh yeah, fucking first mate, fucking one of, you know. There's different levels, but she seems to carry a level of respect here on the ship. But they seem to behave somewhat businesslike and carry on moderate, as professional as a sailor can be expected to. They do seem to refer to each other as like Mr. Briggs and like Mr. Sven or whatever. They definitely seem to have a level of professionalism and respect on this ship. Fantastic. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do today?
Is this the last day?
This is the second to last day.
Oh, nope.
Nope.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm gonna go talk to the horses.
Hey, all right. You head downstairs. You see the 5 steeds all lined up, just sort of placidly sitting there, and you can cast Speak with Animals.
I can do that.
I assume
they
that's
do.
what you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. You call upon the power of Chantia so that you may commune with these creatures. And they're all going, sucks, man. I wanna run. I wanna see grass. I wanna eat. And they go, shut up.
Soon,
fucking-
soon.
Oh shit, he talks. Oh, they all like suddenly take notice of you as you're communicating with them. They're like, oh, that's. And then your horse is like, yeah, no, he does that. Yeah. He goes, what's up?
Thank you. Stone, was it?
Oh fuck, I want to remember the voice
Yeah,
I
it was
picked for
Stone.
him.
It was Stone.
How did he sound? How did I make Stone sound? Remember he was like pretty. Oh yeah, he was like a
A
pretty
little
basic
dopey.
guy. A little dopey. He's like, oh yeah, hey, how's it going? It's good to see you. How you doing? Yeah.
We're doing fine. Halfway through 3-day travel to where we're going. Is there anything I can do for any of you? You guys
Yeah,
hungry? Want some food?
Yeah, sure, hungry. You got apples? I like apples.
I don't have apples.
Oh,
But-
they all say in unison.
What I do have, I'll cast create food and water.
Apples begin to like these little miniature apple trees form and just like seem to just like grow out of the wood of the hall, and like little apple tree branches just sort of grow here and there, and they're like, I'm so happy. And they all like go and they start like munching away, having a little apple feast. They're like, well, this guy's great. And they're like, yeah, he's my rider, so you go find somebody else. And they're all talking, they're having a little feast, they're happy.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you guys were fine. Now I'm gonna go worry about the rest of the crew. Show that fucking chef who can cook now.
And they go, did you just swear?
Did I?
Fuck.
Sorry.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Fuck. Little horse starts swearing.
Okay,
and
I'll leave him do that.
Yeah, you leave them to do that, and you leave the cargo hold to the sounds of like fuck, crunch, apple, fuck, as they learn to swear. And you make your way to the top deck, and you head over there with like maybe a bundle of apples because it creates a lot of them. I think.
It's 45 pounds of food.
Holy fuck! So yeah, certainly enough to like give
and
a little
30 gallons of water.
Holy shit. You certainly make enough to make a small little snack for all of the horses, and you bring a whole bundle of apples upstairs, and the cook's like,
Pie.
Hmm?
Sorry.
Exactly. A pie. We're making
oh, I thought you
pie.
said pie. I thought you just sort of like sighed, and I was like,
No,
Okay.
pie. I get excited about
Pie.
pie.
Pie's great.
Steve up that
Um,
scurvy.
He goes, where did you get those?
I made them.
You made apples?
Yeah.
What, you some kind of frolicky druid, is that it?
I've been blessed with the power to grow food through
Ooh,
the earth.
look
Mother.
at you. Oh, through the earth mother, fancy guy. All right, let's see if you can peel a potato this time around. Come on. And he,
Okay, fine.
he invites you in. And, I'll tell you what. Let's do the roll again. There. Go ahead and roll me another Constitution check. I'll give you advantage because you've brought forth apples.
Constitution or intelligence?
You rolled Constitution.
I rolled
Last time, right?
intelligence last time.
Oh, you rolled intelligence. Okay, roll again.
Okay. Six.
6. Yeah, he's like, oh, well, I'll throw some apples in there, and you're like, really? He goes, what do you think? And you're like, drop it in. And he's like, no, fuck, Terrence. God,
Something to bite into. You know, it's not.
I've stepped in shit smarter than you, Terrence.
Oh no.
And he's like, and he sends you off to go peel potatoes for the rest of the day, and you're like, fucking hate it here. And he's just being really mean to you. And but yeah, you guys cook some stuff up, and he's got he does make a fish stew with like an apple and fish stew, which comes out an interesting taste. Aoife, are you still helping with the cooking?
No, I was going to make another healing potion if I can.
Sure, mark off 25 gold. You should be able to do that. But yeah, you guys get like a apple and fish stew. A little strong on the apple, but it's all right. I would say you feel less sick the next morning, which is nice because it's actual like food and not just like gruel. But yeah, it's pretty good. Very sweet. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do today?
Go fishing again.
Maybe another survival check advantage.
16.
16. 16. Oh shit. You're like, you get a bite and you're like, oh boy. And then it like, your whole pole just goes, and you're like, oh fuck. And you're just like pulling it on the end. You definitely don't meet the DC as you've caught something very large. Something that isn't really meant to be reeled in by a fishing pole. And you're like, oh fuck. And your whole string snaps, you like fall on your ass fully. And you just see like this large fin just sort of swim away, and you're like,
fuck me.
damn. Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, the fish that you were set to catch was a little harder to catch today, unfortunately.
That's all good. Should be a little
Okay.
busy for the rest of the night.
Yeah, a little. You're like restringing your fishing rod and everything.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do? With that, the ship drops anchor near the shoreline, fixes its lamps. You all can get another long rest, as no danger befalls you that evening. And today's the last day on the sea. And lucky for all of you, there's going to be no danger. There's no danger on the Sword Coast. There's the Dragon's Cult. That's it. There's no other danger. There's no bears or bandits. It's perfectly peaceful, except for that one Fort Morning Lord place. But you guys are going to get to Baldur's Gate today. Is there anything you'd like to do on the sea before you get there this evening? I'm just going to go around and get them done. Star, do you want to do another poison?
Yes, I do.
Mark off another 25 gold pieces. You can exchange one of your vials of venom for basic poison again.
Okay.
Fantastic. Aoife, are you potion making or something else? Yeah, potion making. You know what you can do. 25 gold pieces, another potion healing for you, my friend. Who else might be? Is there anybody else who has stuff they want to do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ciela, just say goodbye to everybody.
Okay, Ciela, you just sort of say bye to everybody, shake hands, like get some names, do a little connecting. What about you, Aravir?
I would like to maybe in the evening before we get there, like go to the captain's quarter, particularly if I don't notice Sherry out and about. I'm trying to find Sherry.
Oh, you're looking for Sherry specifically? Okay. You shouldn't be it shouldn't be hard to find her. She is the first mate after all. I just want to quickly check in with our last member here to just get any last things. Shroud, is there anything you'd be doing other than moving boxes?
I don't think so. I think it's like pretty like they're just kind of like happy to be put to work.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, no one would have, or you would have no trouble finding the first mate at all.
Well, sorry, to clarify, I want to try to find her at the captain's quarter. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Gotcha. Absolutely. So not during the daytime by any means would you find her in the captain's quarters. She's out working. But in the evening, indeed, let's see if you... Oh, what am I talking? She's fucking... Yeah, obviously. Yeah, you make your way up there as the crew is sort of like gone to bed and there's only like one or two crew members on the actual deck, like just keeping an eye out, just tending to the ship. And you make your way up to the captain's quarters and peer through the glass door, hoping you can spot your quarry, the first mate and the captain. How late do you think? Like around sunset or like later, like in the night?
Whatever would increase my chances of capturing the couple together. Like she's looking for Sherry specifically, but wants to meet the captain.
Okay. I would say in the evening, once everyone's kind of gone to bed and it's very clear that the first mate has gone to the captain's quarters, she's not making any hiding of it. So you just kind of find your way over there and you look through the glass pane, and you do see like the captain at her navigational chart. You see definitely like a tricorn hat with a big feather. She's got a sextant out on a map and she's sort of like mapping things out over there and sort of like looking at it. And you see the first mate, Sherry, is sort of there and about and is kind of like taking her like overcoat off and just kind of like winding down. But you do see them together.
Okay, I'll knock on the door.
Sherry turns around and she heads to the door. The captain barely moves. She kind of like notes Sherry's walking but continues to work. The door opens and Sherry says, "Oh, it's you, Avery. Erevier. I'm gonna get it. Erevier. It's good to see you. What can I do for you?"
Oh, well, I realized my comments the other day might have been a little insensitive, and I had a gift for you and your wife, the captain, and she'll hold out the 2 perfume vials.
Make a persuasion check at advantage. You come bearing gifts.
15?
15. She looks a little surprised. She kind of like looks outside and sees that nobody's really paying too much attention. She says, "Want to come in for a minute? Say meet the captain."
Her face will light up. Yes, that'd be lovely.
All right. Right this way. Please be respectful.
Of course.
You go inside and you're going to see the captain sitting at the table working on a map. She sort of looks up and sees you. And she says, "Well, who's that, Sherry? Who you got?" And she goes, "Lilani, this is..." no, she'll say captain. She'll say, "Captain, this is one of the individuals that we're transporting. This is Erevier. She just dropped us off a little gift." Captain moves around, walks up to you and says, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. Erevier, please come on in. Have a seat. You want a drink?"
Yes, I'd love a drink. And she'll like, not really knowing what the custom is, but like remembering to be respectful, she'll like give a curtsy to the captain.
You give a curtsy and Lilani like belly laughs. She just sort of like to like over to Sherry, who just kind of like rolls her eyes at Lilani, and Sherry says, "We're not very formal here, in case you haven't noticed, but I'm sure the captain appreciates it." And the captain goes, "Oh, well, I appreciated it. Go, stand up straight. Here, come have a drink."
Oh well, I've never met a captain before, and I've never been on a ship either.
Can't say that again, have you?
What did you say? Sorry.
She says, "Can't say that again, can you?"
No, I suppose I've marked 2 off my bucket list today. I'm pleased to meet you, Sherry, or Lilani.
Yep, Lilani and Sherry.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Don't worry, I'm struggling too. But she pours you. She takes out this bottle, unlabeled, uncorks it, some kind of liquor, some sort of like dark amber liquid, and pours it into a cup in front of you and one into hers. And she kind of like raises it to you. Says, "Here to a safe voyage."
I'm sorry, what did you say again?
She says, "Here's to a safe voyage."
Oh, okay. A safe voyage, and she'll cheers Lilani and Sherry.
Make a Constitution saving throw. This is the most intensely strong liquor you've ever tasted in your life. Your mouth immediately singes.
13.
13. You definitely react. Like you keep it in your mouth and you can swallow it, but you have like you drink it and you kind of go like swallow it deeply pain. You feel it every millimeter of the way, just like fire going down your throat and into your belly, and immediately it has that like flooding sensation as it goes through your belly, and you immediately feel like a little tipsy.
Yeah. Maybe her eyes are watering a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's it's a good drink. Thanks for sharing.
She fills your cup a little bit extra. She goes, "My pleasure, my pleasure." Uh, Sherry goes, "Lalani, I don't. Let's not try and kill her just before the voyage has come to an end, because she's not gonna die. It's not too bad. Come on,
Yeah.
have another nip with me."
Of course, Sherry. This is fine. I'm grateful to be spending the company with such excellent individuals. And she'll like cheers again and try another.
Make another con save. You're expecting it this time. DC's slightly lower.
I got a 17.
17. This time you drink it back. You still sort of scrunch your face up, but you're not. You're only going to sort of remain in that tipsy space. So you're good for the time being. And yeah, she'll like kick back, and the captain just keeps feeding you drinks, just like one after the other, and the Lonnie's kind of giving her a look of like, stop, but
Yeah.
doesn't insist upon it. Would you keep drinking as the captain insists?
Depends. Well, Lilani, I do admit I'm fascinated by the adventures you and Sherry must be getting up to. I'd love you to tell me a tale.
She looks over at Lilani, and Lilani sort of just gestures to Sherry, and she goes, "Well, I could tell you of this was actually the second job me and Lilani had together, where I was just a deckhand, and I think you'll like it. It's a tale of passion and violence." And she goes on to, and I'll roll a little performance check for her. She actually tells it quite well. She rolls like a 16, so a very good performance. Where she goes on to tell you the tale of how the two began to sort of like notice each other in that way, and a romance began to bubble. And on the night that Captain Lonnie invited, Captain Lonnie invited Sherry to her quarters, the two were sharing a drink and they were getting a little drunk. And just as Lilani leaned in to like kiss her, the ship took a ballista bolt to the side of it, and they were under attack by pirates. So she tells this extravagant tale about how they were attacked by pirates after their cargo, and it was through Lilani's just like skill at sea and maneuverability with the actual ship that she was able to like get away from the pirate ship, as it was very well equipped. And Lonnie came in handy as she managed to actually save her life that night. As one of the only a couple pirates made their way on, but one managed to fire a bolt, which Lonnie like took in the shoulder for the captain rather than piercing through her heart. And sort of she had to come back to health, but it definitely sealed the deal between them before even the first kiss.
Aw, yeah, so she'll definitely take the drinks Lilani keeps feeding her and hang on to like every word, especially the romance part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she'll enjoy her night with this couple.
And by the time you're done your drink, you're definitely a little in your cups, and you're just you're like drunk, not like abusively drunk, but drunk. Yeah. Lalani's looks very happy. He goes, "That's my lady. I knew the moment she took that bolt for me that she was the elf for me. So the rest is history now, and yeah, here we are, running little errands up and down, fighting off pirates here and there."
Well, you two make a lovely couple. I quite admire the relationship you have, and I hope you enjoy the gifts. I made the perfumes myself.
Made the perfumes yourself, eh?
I
Wow.
dabble in the arcane a bit, and alchemy's tools comes quite natural to me.
Oh, I see. She goes, put some on, Lonnie. Lonnie's like, okay. She like squirts herself a little bit. And then Lonnie goes over and like smells her. She goes, that's rather nice, actually. She goes, you smelt it?
Me?
Yeah, have you smelt the perfumes once you're done making them and all? Or did you just bottle them?
I would smell, yeah, especially like as I'm making them. Yeah, of course I've had my scents before.
That's mighty fine. She sort of like looks over at Lalani. And she sort of like looks at you, Riley, and then Lalani kind of goes, well, I think that's that for the night. Or excuse me, not Lalani. Sherry gets up and Sherry goes, well, I think that's it for the night. And she sort of stands up. Yes, you may make an insight. You may do it at disadvantage because you're drunk.
Okay. I'm just curious, like, about the look that was exchanged is all.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's a 24 and the second's a 14.
14. Lalani's looking at you somewhat mischievously, somewhat maybe even lustfully. And Sherry doesn't seem to be super into what she's got going on in her mind, and she's definitely like, okay, it's time for you to go. So Sherry stands up, she's like, I think that's that will do. Let me show you to the door. Thank you very much for your gifts. Eravir. Says thank you very much for the gifts, Eravir. And Lonnie's like, oh, she could stay for a moment longer, I think. He goes, no, I don't think she should. And starts corralling you towards the door.
Yeah, she'll take her leave, catching that hand. Maybe she like catches herself halfway through another curtsy, a little awkwardly, and it says, well, it was lovely meeting you, Captain, and Sherry, I'm sure I'll see you around tomorrow.
Goes, well, if you ever need a ship, come back again sometime, love. And Sherry's like, have a good night. And closes the door and closes the curtains.
Incredible. Yeah. I'll stumble to my hammock.
Yeah, you stumble, you do, my friend. As you drink like pirate rum, which is like 90 proof or some bullshit. With that, we come to Baldur's Gate. You guys are going to sail down the river. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to pass by a massively long bridge on the way there, which gives tell that you are close. Have a moment where I'm just getting all my ducks in order. That's right. Hang on a second. Okay. Here we go. As you are making your way in, the ship travels underneath a very, very, very tall bridge with a massive, almost like it's not a cave, but it's almost like a stalagmite column that rises out of the water midway through the bridge. It has buildings built upon it, almost like a small town built atop a bridge through massive structures that have all been put together. It's a very interesting piece of civilization that some of you maybe have not seen before. You make your way through here, down and through, until you come up past a very large mountain. All the while on the shoreline, seeing civilization coming alive on either end of the bridge. Small outer city towns that have sprung up here and there. And as you make your way past the tall mountain, you see yet another sort of hodgepodge village until it is revealed Baldur's Gate. You look past the massive harbor into the big, beautiful city that rises atop the mountains, as if built into a sort of canyon-like structure almost. The massive city. There's walls within the city and walls without the city. It's, for some of you who are not as experienced with cities, it's just a different shape of city, perhaps, but nonetheless interesting. For others who have heard tales of Baldur's Gate, you arrive at the magnificent city, one of the 3 most prominent cities on the shore of the Sword Coast. It is a very popular, very busy trade city where travelers come and here and go, and is very, very, very successful when it comes to trade and merchandise. It is the first and last stop out of this river where goods make their needs. As you make your way out, you are going to meet with a blah, 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 blah. I believe you're going to meet with a tax collector as the first person you're going to meet. You guys are each going to be asked to pay a 5 copper piece tax for your persons and your cargo being your mounts. You are told that your mounts must be that mounts are not allowed within the city walls, and they must be stabled outside the city, in which the cat or the first mate will recommend that you do so at the northern gate, for if you are expecting travelers from the south, you should probably park your horses to the north if you mean to follow. So they will organize all of that. If each of you is willing to drop 5 copper pieces, you may be allowed to step off the gangplank into the docks of Baldur's Gate, in which the adventure will continue next week.
So you said that was 5 copper?
Yep, 5 copper pieces.
What do you think? I'm made of money?
I feel like I'm made of money. I got like 400 plus gold coins.
Oh yeah, you're making good money.
Ryan, what session number is this?
This is a good question to start.
I think we're session 11.
This would be session...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Session 11? I've got session 10.
Well, we didn't record one session.
That doesn't matter.
I know.
Maybe I missed a session. Oh, it's session 11.
No, I'm pretty sure you were there for all of them.
I meant like in my tracking of it. Very funny.
Okay, session 11?
Yep, session 11. If everyone agrees.
Sounds about right.
Sure.
It's just how I keep track of it in my notes. Thank you.
Oh, guys, check out the cool coaster set I got today at the show.
What is it?
Coasters.
Oh, that's way
D20.
cool.
Awesome D20s.
Cute.
Nice.
Those are cool.
Yeah, that's
Did it
way
say
cool.
1 on the other side?
No.
Oh.
That's like the
But when
mug.
you're drinking, you don't want any critical fails.
That's right. That's
The
right.
mu- The mug that I have, that I drink from a lot says roll initiative. And on the bottom it does have a nat 1 and it says well shit.
Nice. That's amazing.
Great.
My favorite mug is a D20 on it as well.
Time for bed.
All right,
Yes.
y'all. I'll see some of you tomorrow.
That's right.
Yes.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Hey guys.